So apparently, I'm now live. Hello out there, world. This evening, we've got Graham Hopkins. I'm going to have a chat with him about stuff. Hello, two people who've joined. Hope you're well. Graham Hopkins. I haven't spoke to him. There's a wave going out. Since we'll chat about this anyway. For about 4 years or something. At a Vic Firth thing after the drum show in Manchester. As you can see, I'm fluffing. I've not spoken to him. We've sort of back and forth on Insta and socials and stuff. I feel there's a bit of a connection. So we shall see tonight if he turns up. Apparently the one with hello everybody with Mr. Dolbear the other night was a resounding success. And I know that we do have a little bit of a competition with Ash. Ash is with Mike tonight, having a good old natter. So that'd be great. Hello, Grace. Katie Drums. Who else is here? Liasa D. Decker. Hello. Brett Biggs Drums. Yeah, this is good. We're just sort of waiting for Graham to do his hair, maybe titivate the beard. He did say to me earlier on today freaking out about what he was going to wear. Mr. Patrick Blaney with a bit of CNC going on. What's going on? Congratulations. That was that's a good still, man. Very proud of you. Obviously, I will take the credit for getting that for you. But it's you don't have to thank me. It's fine. I hope you're well. Hell yeah. This might just be me crapping on for a bit. I don't know where he is. Where is he? Come on, Gray. Hello. Is that Mr. Hopkins? We have a little bit here on your son's email. Professional jazz trad Dixieland drummer. Maybe we should Mr. Glenn Moole. How you doing, man? You okay? Yes, Des Hopkins. Hello. What an honour. Do you want to give your son a little bit of a jog on? It's all right, Glenn. Mr. Graham Hopkins has joined. I'm going to give him a wave, and then I'm going to invite him. And then hopefully... Oh no. Graham Hopkins. I want to invite him. Here we go. Is that Nick? Go live with Graham Hopkins. Here we go. I'm just waiting for him now. This is the exciting bit. This is the bit where he just sort of boom pops up. No, boom pops up. Boom! Boom! How are you, lad?
Great. All the better now for seeing your ass.
Oh, man. My ass is just, it's always happy to see you.
Show me your ass. Stop. It's too early.
We are literally, that was 3 seconds, maybe 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Am I blushing?
Oh, yeah, of course. You're always blushing.
You are the only person that can make me blush.
Probably, yeah.
You filthy sausage. How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah?
How are you? Yeah,
I'm right.
good. I feel like a hippie at the moment. And
That is
it's
astonishing.
like I've got the biggest beard, longest hair.
Man, you look amazing.
Stop.
You
What
look
are you
amazing.
looking for? How much are you looking for?
So what is it now? It's like I was just sort of, as I was rambling then, inanely.
I'm going to turn this up a bit.
3 or 4 years since that. Was it a Vic thing?
a Vic thing. Oh, since that we went out for dinner together.
We're actually physically in the same room.
We were, yeah. That was at the British
UK drum shop.
UK in Manchester. Your home. Yeah,
There you go.
That was fun, wasn't it?
It was great, that, man. Yeah, I wanted to sort of, I don't know, hug you and, ooh, do you know what I mean? You know, you sort of meet somebody and you just go, fucking hell, how are you?
Yeah. We had a great hang that weekend, didn't we? It really was.
It was good, man. It was really good. I think it sort of...
Jesus, what's happened?
Either the room went or the phone went.
Yeah, I've got my my thingy bobby, what do you call it? On I turned it upside down. Hold on. Does that work?
Am I upside down?
How do I look now?
You look just a little lower, Greg.
I've got my.
You have got trousers on, yeah?
Oh yeah, just about. But
did you see that? There was something on. What was it on? It was either Twitter or Insta. Was it a professor who was doing a Zoom? No pants, but he didn't get the framing right.
That's like the newscasters every night. You do wonder what are they wearing underneath? What could they possibly be wearing underneath?
Do you know what? From there down,
could be anything.
It could be anything. Surprise, surprise. So right, okay.
How are you?
You're Ethan. How are you?
Yeah.
How was Dolbear's chat?
Dolbear's chat was good. Did you watch it back?
I watched a bit of it. Yeah, I was just a bit like, I don't want to ask you the same questions.
Nah.
Mike's got it covered, obviously, you know, but it was all right, yeah?
Like, I really enjoyed your chat with Mike. That was really good because it was you interviewing Mike, you know, so it was really insightful, you know? I
wanted to just really peck his head because he does, you know, we love Mike. He does so much.
Yeah.
And I was glad he did it, and I was glad he had time to do it.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was only fair to sort of, you know, put it on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically. There's Jerry. Hello.
There's Jerry. Hi, Jer.
Hi, Jer.
Where are you, Jerry? Are you up north or are you in England? Let us know.
He was north when was he on the? No, he's in London.
Is he?
Yeah, because I chatted with him last week before.
All right.
And we were saying sexy things about you. I think it always, your name always comes up, and it's like, I'm sick of it. Sick of it. So your email.
Yeah.
Forgive me.
Yeah.
You've done some stuff, man.
Done a few bits.
You've done bits.
Well, kind of. You've been obviously. I've been in a band to another band, but I just like doing other things. Like musically, I do. Not that I get bored. I just like having that kind of eclectic mix of jumping from. I can't say gig to gig. I like saying like session to session.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's a lot to do with the way I was brought up as well, with how my father would play. You know, if I get stuck playing the one style, I can easily get bored after a while.
Yeah.
I like playing several different styles. Just to kind of, it makes you feel fresher or something. You know, lots of different songs, lots of different styles, and even be it different grooves, jumping from the brushes to the sticks to the mallets to whatever it may be. You know, it's just good for the.
Good for here. Good for here.
Yeah, good for everywhere, isn't it?
Good for everywhere. So, first things first. Yeah, your dad popped up before, so I had a sort of very one-sided conversation. Just said it was a pleasure because you'd obviously mentioned him on the email. And so, how did that inform your? Was he a touring musician? Did you have that kind of pull, or was it just being able to sit on the kit? Or
my father, like, we're exactly where you're from, Manchester.
Yeah, man.
That's where he spent a lot of his young life, you know, on the trad jazz scene.
On that club scene. Yeah, man.
Where like a lot of your, well, they'd be down more so around London, but you know, people would be familiar with the names George, you know, well, George Melly, but like Chris Barber,
Yeah.
Kenny Ball. So up north, he played like a lot of trad Dixieland jazz. Because my grandparents, my uncle, they were all spent a lot of their youth. But then even when they went back to Ireland, my father stayed there for a lot of years. Wow. And spent a lot of years and played there. You know, my grandfather and grandmother were also musicians. So it's like I'm third generation drummer, you know.
That's amazing.
Just great. And I wasn't by any means ever kind of pushed, bullied in becoming a drummer. I just took it up, you know. The kit was set up. Even I annoyed my father to set the kit up, Dad, in the garage. And he was just back from a gig and he had to leave that night. The last thing he wanted to do was
reset the kit.
This fucking thing is annoying me. Sorry. I have to do a couple of things here. I'll talk away and I'll.
No, it's good, man. What I wanted to sort of say, because you know, I get it with Dylan, and I've not my son Dylan, and he's 18 now, and he's a great drummer.
Some of the posts you post of him are absolutely fantastic.
It's ridiculous, and it's only because I've not gone near him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's just, I suppose, in the same way, it's that opportunity that, you know, the kit is there, you know, setting up the shed, and he just has to walk out. Same with me, just down the garden into the shed. You know, we're quite lucky in that respect. But
he loves his new China, doesn't he? Yeah. There
it is. Oh my God, it's the fucking loudest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's sort of, the shed bulges when you know, and he had it as a ride.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, get it on.
As long as he doesn't overdo the China like Lars or something, you know. Just hit it on those.
Oh man, yeah. Get it on. I mean, that's me though. So I think I wanted to sort of, I don't know. We have only got an hour.
Yeah.
But I think the amount of stuff that you've done is phenomenal. So, you know, when you sort of said, right, well, I wanted to sort of take some time out, you know, be with the family. You've got two girls, is that right? Two
girls, my wife and two girls. So I'm surrounded by women.
You are leading the way, as they should.
Yes.
So, what prompted that? Was it just the fact that you were back to back touring, studio, cycle, and then it was like, do you know what? I need.
When you get to, like, I'm not ancient, the same as you. We're more or less the same age, same generation, and when you get to that and you have kids, and you've been touring for most of their upbringing as well, it comes to that stage where, you know, I have to spend quality time with my kids.
Yeah.
Even when they were like babies being brought up, I missed one of their first days at school. I remember when our second girl was just about to come, I took a challenge. I remember going to South Korea and Japan to do some gigs because my wife was due.
Yeah.
Just like she was like, just go. And I got back in time. She still had a week or two, you know. So it's kind of like, okay, I just have to stay at home and just be here.
Yeah.
And it's been, I'm really enjoying it now, just being home. And I'm in my studio now, that this is my place.
Well, I was going to say that, you know, that is that your place? Is it close to home? Is it?
It's 1 minute from my house. So
right.
It's no probs. It's not part of my house. And I just remove myself. I can still come here. Yeah. There's still a couch over there if I haven't done it, but if I want to stay the night.
Yeah.
You know, just to kind of, if I want to, you know, it's my place to go to and do my thing, and professionally, you know, do my thing.
Yeah.
It's like anybody's job. You know, it's a necessity, really. And if I do go away on tour after this break, you know, it'll come a time where, you know, whatever way things settle after COVID, let's just play it by ear.
Yeah. I think you know, chatting to you know, everybody who's done these instas, it's that flexibility and adaptability. I think when I was talking to Jerry, especially, and I didn't know this until you sent the email, is that you were signed to Warner's, weren't you?
Yeah.
So you know, is that still a big sort of, you know, part of what you do, right? Because I kind of didn't write when I left. I was just like, you know what I mean? I don't know what I'm doing. I just wanted to sort of, like yourself, be home, be present, you know, build the shed so I can play, but not really write. So is that still something you are doing, looking to do, or is it just sort of, right, session? It's kind of a not punch in, punch out, because you never really switch off. But do you know what I mean? Is that, are you still writing? Are you still releasing? What's the?
I'm not still writing. I suppose around the time that I did leave Therapy, the band, it was something that I definitely had to get out of my system.
Right.
And one of the many main reasons that I left the band, because I was constantly writing songs, constantly constantly. And then around towards the last year, 2 years, I was demoing them with a couple of good friends of mine in a couple of studios. And then I knew to get it out of my system. I didn't know how. I was never looking for a record deal.
Okay.
Then I left the band because I wasn't in any way comfortable playing that kind of music.
Yeah.
And then after about a year of being out of the band and touring with Gemma Hayes, who was similar to she didn't win a Mercury Prize, but she was nominated for the Mercury Prize. And after that, I just said to Gemma, you know, I just want to do my own thing and put my everything into it, because I had to get it out of my system. You know?
Yeah.
So I did that, and Warner's approached me. I didn't in any way come forward to that, because I was good friends with and David Kitt, fantastic David Kitt, who was signed to Warner, and I was playing with him. Their A&R, they said, well, do you want to do an album with us? And I said, yeah, okay. And it was fantastic. Got it out of my system. We did, and then the second album did with me and a bunch of my best mates playing. Did some great supports. Never achieved like worldwide, you know, fame, but that's not a reason I did it either.
Sure.
And then things just moved on, and I got back to, you know, playing drums, but I was still doing a lot of sessions, even when I was doing my solo thing. But I got it out of my system.
And how did the, you know, I do want to ask about the Glenn Hansard. I mean, that just, how did that come about?
Well, all the time, even when I was in Therapy, the band, I was great mates. Me and the bass player have been best mates since we were kids. You know, he joined Therapy at the time. We were both in this band, My Little Funhouse. I joined My Little Funhouse, and he joined the Frames. So it went on to be the you know, the kind of revolving drummers with the Frames. They'd always get me in to record albums or do gigs when they were changing drummers and stuff. But I never committed to join the Frames, because I was always in another band, you know. It was just awkward timing, you know. So then when the time came, I did play on several other albums, if not the majority of the Frames album. Then when the time came, with the success of the Once film,
Yeah.
I played on the soundtrack for that, the drumming for the soundtrack of Once. And Glenn just called me and said, well, do you want to tour the Swell Season, as the band were called, with Glenn and Marketa Glova? And you can imagine the global success on the back of the film and the Oscar and everything. And I remember that's where you and me first met. It was at Coachella with the Snow Patrol guys, and we briefly kind of like, hey, pleased to meet you. But we were both in kind of like, hey,
hi,
yeah.
Yeah, love Patrol boys.
Just doing too many gigs, too many festivals, and it just, that turned over the Swell Season into Glenn's solo.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So I was doing that for the guts of 10 years, playing every conceivable venue, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So did you, like, I had a bit of a love-hate with touring. Obviously fun, you know what I mean? It's the good stuff, you know, that's what you're kind of working towards. And then obviously you're up and down. How did you fare? I mean, I don't know from, you know, because I was in one band all my life. I've done a few little sessions, but and I'm doing more now, but just sort of studio and remote. But how did you? I don't know. I don't want to use the word survive, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going from block to block.
Well, I think when you have kids, it makes a huge, colossal difference, doesn't it?
Massive, massive.
Before that, we were just having a laugh, weren't we?
Well, I mean, we had Dylan quite early, so most of my touring life has been, you know, Sarah looking after Dylan. You know, even if it's, you know, one kid, it's still incredibly hard. And this was before. It's not a sob story, but it's before FaceTime, before mobile phones.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? And it was fucking hard, man. But like you say, it's, you know, it's when you have kids. Before that, it's just fun, isn't it?
Oh, it's all that matters, you know. It's even kind of, to a degree, like the gig is peripheral to a degree. Yeah. Oh yeah, lads, you know. But,
what, really?
Oh yeah.
Now?
Yeah, but no, it's not.
We are professionals after all.
What was the saying that Charlie Watts has said?
Is it 25 years in a band, 20 years waiting around, 5 years playing or something?
Yeah, something like that, you know?
Something like that.
Well, I wouldn't really say it about Glenn Hansard, to be honest, because some nights the gig has been known to be 4 hours long. You know? Well, like, wow. And then people say if you're at the actual gig, you don't even notice it.
Yeah.
He draws the audience in.
Yeah, man.
So it's kind of even.
And I remember a few of ours where, because Guy was very, very similar, very, very good at that. Yeah. And I remember some of the gigs where I think I cut him off a few times, you know, sort of pressing play on the back. But I was sat there and I was like, well, can I get vodka and tonic?
A lot of the things in gigs I've done like that, we'd rather than sit there and ask for the vodka and tonic, we'd walk off stage, and then we'd know the cues to walk back on, you know. But then, speaking about you, you were even it should be even like a Rick question. Nobody's interviewed you in any of this, because I think you are phenomenal. You know, you're playing with Elbow
Oh no, stop it.
You know, I think even when it was my last year of playing with Therapy, you can imagine how Therapy were just.
Oh man, it was amazing. I wanted to be you.
Oh, and then I just was in love with Sleep in the Back, you know, and that's kind of people were going, "What are you into?" I was listening to things like Scott Walker and
Right.
Nick Drake, and even the Cardigans, or
Yeah.
that's things I listened to in my headphones, and then at the same time I listened to. I remember listening to Doves, and at the
Ah,
same time I listened to Elbow's first album,
yeah.
Sleep in the Back, and I just fell in love. The drums and the lyrics
Mm.
and just the whole thing of the grooves where it's always makes the song so different and just draws one in,
Yeah.
and it certainly did for me, and there was songs like One Day Like This, and it just really, oh my God, this is not typical by any standard, it's just like, this guy, just chat, chat, gotcha. And it was phenomenal. So that was it. I was on the Elbow train then.
The elbow train. Oh, it means a lot, man. It really does. It's I mean, obviously coming from yourself, the master of, you know what I mean, like bringing space into groove, which is something that we're having a bit of a love in right now. So just excuse me, everybody, just put your fingers in your ears. The because you don't, it doesn't seem like you put stuff onto socials very often. But when you do, it is its choice cuts. It's like, and you personify flavor and groove and tone and that thoughtful sort of, you slow down time. So when you it means you can wrap yourself up in it. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
as a drummer, I can hear the drums. You know what I mean? Basic physics means that if you play things too fast, you don't get to hear individual pieces.
yeah.
So I get to hear your, that beautiful kick. Are you Ludwig, aren't you?
I'm with Ludwig now. We started with Ludwig just here. I'll tilt this just
That's
before
okay.
Christmas.
Oh,
And that's
that's
a
so beautiful.
Ludwig legacy
The
mahogany.
legacy, right? Okay, yeah,
So I'm officially in love.
yeah.
I'm in love. There's no
Undrilled,
sorry.
undrilled.
Uh, Undrilled. Yeah, I didn't
Good.
want to even get the what do you call it? What would you call it?
The little
Clamp.
Tom Mount clamp, yeah,
Yeah. Well, I just like the snare
yeah,
stand. It's cool with me, In the as you can see, the Galaxy black finish. I'm in love. I'm absolutely, to be with Ludwig is just such a joy. But
yeah,
continue on.
yeah, definitely. I think that's the key as well. I think with your ability to choose tone and listen to the kit. Do you know what I mean? And again, I like to think I'm quite of the same mind. And we've both got a great instrument. You've got your Ludwig. I've got a Gretsch, and it's just every time you sit at the kit, you get that little.
That's why, I don't know, people listening now might, like you said, but that's why I've had big appreciation for you, because you've never gone for the stereotypical, maybe 2 and 4. You've
Yeah,
always, like, even on songs like one that I know me and my wife, and lyrically it doesn't mean anything like what it says, but
no,
like a song like Newborn, where
yeah,
what you play is just like, oh God, you play just, it's just such a warming vibe, which is just so, holy shit, playing for the song, which just does nothing but uh, draw one in musically, you know, because it's just,
Thank you, man.
it's even the same for, I think, would you agree with me that was like the big hit which drafted the world in, whereas I was on
Yeah,
board long before that. Was Grace Under Pressure the big one?
the big One Day Like This. That was the
Oh,
that
one
was the,
day. That's exactly the one I saw. Sorry.
yeah.
That sorry, but even on that you have a. But there's little ghost notes on it and stuff. You
It's the
know.
16th, isn't it? It's so funny when you get students at uni
Yeah.
and they're going like, "Oh, look at me, I can play it," and they play it wrong.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm
Well,
like,
that's the
"Oh,
thing.
good."
I'd say you could probably say that on every single one of your grooves.
Yeah.
You know, oh, you got it wrong. No. You got it wrong.
Again.
Yeah,
Again.
again. You know.
Um,
Uh,
right.
so
Let's turn it
I,
back.
a lot of admiration for your grooves and songs,
I think
and
vice versa, man. But I think we are. The reason I wanted to, speak to you again was just to speak to you because you're fucking a beautiful man. But
by
also because I think we're both really lyrical drummers in that we create a soundscape, a bed, of tone and feel and space and all the rest of it. And I think that was, I think in everything that you've done, there's that obviously commitment from a sort of business point of view, obviously because you want the gig, you want to get paid, you want to make contacts and all the rest of it. But I think just what struck me when I met you first was just we were sat with, was it like Thomas Lang was sat there, wasn't he?
yeah.
And we had Bob Knight.
Bob Knight. Yeah, I
And
do.
you two. I mean, I just watched you two talk. It was just amazing. And then a few top bods from Vic and whatever, and it was just the way you were just dead. That's what I mean about personifying how you play.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? There was just space, and what you said was very, you weren't just waffling. Do you know what I mean? And it really resonated with me. And I think we've not. It's one of those things, you know what I mean? We've both been busy, as you say, but hopefully after this, we'll reconnect. And I'd love to do another one of these, or just as Mikey said, with the tour you did with Adam, the coffee shops. I mean, that's just fucking genius.
Well, I think the reason was
how did that sort of come about? Was it?
Well, I think it's kind of similar to how you and myself we just clicked. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It does sound cheesy. When I said it does sound cheesy, but it's fucking true.
Yeah, it was just easy, and two people. Can I tell you a horrible thing?
Yeah.
I know myself. Before I left the house, I had a shower and I came out. This is the first time this has ever happened in my life, but my daughter was even helping me, our youngest. I couldn't find my wedding ring. I don't know where it went. I've worn it every day. I couldn't find my wedding ring. So I feel empty without it.
Yeah.
But maybe it means something between me and you. Maybe. Well, you've still got yours on, so whatever.
I've got yours.
You've got mine.
I've got yours.
All right, I'll change the subject, I thought.
I do, Graham. I do.
You do. All right, we'll change the subject. She's going to take the piss out of me now when I get home soon. But
shit, man.
Do
you know where it is? Where is it?
No, I forget what I was going to say.
Oh no. before you came here with your youngest. You were chatting, and then you just said you lost your wedding ring.
Must have been a lie.
Adam, you connected with Adam.
Yes.
Coffee shop. Boom. I
Adam,
was listening.
Connected with Adam. I did several of them on my own. Right. And the whole premise behind it basically was rather than doing the typical clinic, you know, in a music store or in a hotel kind of room or whatever. Yeah. My passion, really, apart from music, I'm just useless at anything else other than music, is coffee. You know, just drinking quality, beautiful coffee. And I just kind of, there you go. And I just decided I'm kind of good friends with several coffee shops because I find myself there a hell of a lot. Yeah. I just went in and I talked to them, and you'd be actually surprised how even, yet again, the majority of coffee shop, if not owners, then the baristas are actual musicians, drummers, musicians. Mm. So when I suggested the idea of maybe doing drum clinics in the places, even if it's only to 10, 15 people, they were all up for it. And it's by no means in any way like financial gain. It was not, you know. So I started doing that. It was about 2.5 years ago. Did just a tour around Ireland. Got great backing from all the companies that I play, like Zildjian, Vic Firth, and where they all sent me, you know, items to give away as prizes and stuff, you know. Went great. And then Adam Marcello, if people don't know who he is, he plays drums with Katy Perry. And me and Adam have been really good friends for the last couple of years. And the thing about me and Adam is we're just kind of on a very similar path. Yeah. You know, as far as inspirations, like what you and I were talking about, as far as just first and foremost playing for the song, rather than being complete exhibitionists and playing too fast and furious. And then after they went well, Adam is very into his, you know, electronics, which what he does a lot when he gigs.
The hybrid,
Yes. So he suggested the idea of the two of us doing something together. So let's do it. So the two of us did a run, which turned into a couple of runs around the country, squashed into the corner coffee shops. Went so well. Well. So obviously then with the two of us being busy over the last, him back out on the road with Katy Perry and me playing great David Keenan, who's absolutely fantastic. So I've been very busy with David Keenan for the guts of the last year. And so we've both been up to it, you know, up to it, with a H. I don't know. Yes.
Yeah, with a H, I think.
So we're going to do more.
Definitely.
Because that kind of crossbreed of the electronics and then me just playing, you know, the route was really good fun, you know.
I think it's definitely something that is I've not really dug into it too much, but it's definitely something I want to explore. And I think I'm not a purist by any means, but I had an SPDSX. I didn't use it for like 6 months.
There's so out there you can.
Yeah.
Certainly been kind of
get another one.
But even when I was in therapy, I had one, not one of them. I had the I can't even remember the name of it. And then with several gigs, I was touring with Dolores O'Riordan for a year and had the old SPD.
The SPD,
I had to get to know, but then when you're removed from electronics for several years, things are updated. So,
Well, I think because we toured with we toured quite a few bands. I think there's quite a few bands using or starting to sort of use the hybrid stuff, whether it was backing tracks or electronics of any kind or triggers or whatever. I know every night something went wrong. And these are from huge bands to back in the day when we were starting out. So I think we, for better or worse, we just didn't think it was trustworthy for some reason. But all backing, even in the arenas, was a little Roland R44 backing, and click was on a little card, SD card. That's it. I press play, and that's it. The track stops. I press play, plays through, track stops. That's it. So, but I think now with being out of it, and obviously lecturing and stuff, there's a lot of the interest in obviously Ableton and working with Logic and stuff. How are you with all that? I mean, are you pretty sort of tech savvy or?
But to be honest, I'm after in the studio I'm in here. Pro Tools kind of totally gave up. It was an old one, right. And partner in crime, my cousin Michael, he moved out. The two of us were sharing this place. I'm after buying a new Mac, and I'm after buying Logic.
Right.
And lots of little pieces, and I'm going to spend the next few weeks just burying my head, into everything, and I'm really, really excited, and just getting everything into it. That's my plan of action for the foreseeable, because I do a lot of sessions here where people send me in songs.
Yeah.
And I record them, and then I send them the WAVs. So they're totally clean.
Yeah.
I don't get anything on them, obviously. And you do the same, yes?
Yeah, to a lesser degree.
Yeah.
But I'd like to do more.
Yeah.
So it's quite reassuring that you're saying it's as simple as it's not as simple, but you are putting a clean signal down, chuck it back, there you go. That's it.
And then it's a thing of then you'd ask the producer or the artist what exactly is required, what they'd like, and then it could be the other style of play where they are asking you one because they admire what the drummer does, so they're willing to just listen. And you could give those other examples. You could give them a couple of options.
Yeah.
There's lots of different ways.
And I think that's one of the biggest sort of areas that I like. I don't like to call myself a teacher or a tutor or a lecturer or whatever, but you sort of facilitate learning with experience. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the biggest area that I kind of talk about is the unteachable aspects, the grey areas, and saying, however cheesy it sounded, when you click with somebody, that's how you get a gig.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Even though I've been in the same band all my life, it's the same thing. When you click with somebody, you can get work out of it, and this sustains your career. I got that with you, and I think do you realise that is a huge factor in maintaining a career in the industry?
I think so. And I think, I think so. But even in Ireland, it could have been even at a younger generation.
Yeah.
It was different with socializing, going out, having a drink or seven, and then it kind of grew and grew from going to one gig to another, to another, to another, to another. So when I say, and now at this stage, it's 15 years ago. So it was like a snowball effect where I was going from gig to gig to gig constantly, you know?
Yeah.
So obviously in that kind of way, because there was a big, even though it wasn't the kind of drummer I was, there was a big singer-songwriter.
Yeah.
And it seemed like there was me and there was two other drummers in particular, and we seemed to be the drummers,
The go-to
guys that played with all of these people, which was fantastic, you know. But now, like we were saying, having your own studio like this, it's a necessity, really.
Yeah.
Because you can't really be getting in your car all the time, just jumping from A to B. Whereas if an engineer producer knows that you've got a quality setup in your own studio and you totally know what to do, they'll call you and go, will you do this? Yeah, I'll do it. And you know how to do it. And they know you're going to get that quality take back with good mics, good preamps, whatever it may be. I think it is a necessity if you want to make a living, and also your knowledge of electronics, like use, and also natural things like playing with a click and stuff like that. But also without kind of licking arse, but just being a nice dude. And I think I've been very fortunate in that way. A lot of it comes from my father,
Yeah.
The shaking and faking method,
Yeah,
but, whereas I'm not saying I'm an evil bastard, and then you meet me, I'm like fucking prick. Oh, how are you?
Hey!
So great to see you. It's just important, not just in the music business, but it's important. It's important in life,
It is, and it's kind of, as we said to sort of Jerry and Mark Puzzi and pretty much everybody. It's like, I've written it on the whiteboard at the start of class. It's like, don't be a dick.
Yeah. Where does it get you?
There's your degree. Bye.
Yeah. It's very life is too short. What's the point in having a chip on your shoulder?
Isn't it? I know.
There's absolutely no point, There's an amazing book that was written by, Portland. In Portland, there's the drum shop in Portland.
Yep.
There's how does he pronounce it? Stoke, the book.
I think so. I'll have to.
You're gonna look as well, are you?
Yeah.
It's Jose who owns. I'm gonna look right now as well. Jose owns Revival Drums, and he stoic, which is a positive sense really of being. And this book, I bought it when he released it a couple of years ago, and it just gives you such positive feelings about playing, about every aspect of sessions, of not even if you're a drummer, not even if you're no matter what you're kind of
where you want to take it, where you're from or whatever.
Yes. And I genuinely love that book. If you're waking up in a grumpy mood, I'd say, read that book, like today's post that he went out, and it's from the book, is build your drumming life from within. Solidarity, the core.
Wow. That's big.
Yeah, it is great. So yeah, I think we.
Go on. Sorry, you were going to say another quote.
My sales pitch for Jose.
Amazing. Yeah, I need to get that book. I need to read it. It's funny, isn't it? Because when you know, like we said before about being sat at your kit, there's no like greater feeling, I don't think.
No.
There's other good feelings, don't get me wrong, but you know, sitting at your kit is it's still a thing. Do you know what I mean? And I think if you, because of the mechanics, because of the investment of all four limbs plus this,
Yeah.
all your senses are covered. There's an air of sort of mindful, not mindfulness, mindful application.
Mindfulness, yes. Sam is just Sam Uldrums has just asked. The book is called. If you go to the Stoic Drummer book, if you go to Instagram and go to Stoic Drummer, STOIC Drummer, DRUMMER, just one word, and it'll all come up. They're all quotes from the book, but I'd recommend actually buying the book. I think I have it in my bag.
I think is because I do a lot of surfing, and it's very much similar in its thought process, in its attention to the little tweaks, the attention to that physicality, that communication of an idea, or where you want, you know, proprioception. So you know, you're knowing where your body is, and having awareness of your body and how you can communicate the idea. Also, that sort of slightly, you know, solitary community, but solitary as well. You know,
here's one. Waste no more time debating what a great drummer should be. Be one.
That's so true.
Go drum in peace.
Drum in peace.
Yeah.
That's a t-shirt.
Yeah, because it's that's an ideal thing. It's like you've said at the very start, and that's what I love about my room, you know. And I just love. I could spend hours here, hours. Yeah. I'm sure you could as well. Just playing, just working out something, and just playing in absolute solidarity, and just losing myself. And then suddenly you look at your watch, your clock, your phone, and it's like 3 hours later. Like, wow.
There was one thing that Guy said, being in the studio, and we're in Blueprint, and he said, you know, you're talking to your better half, or whoever, or you know, it could be anybody else on the phone, and you'd just be stood there, and you'd be like, yeah, okay, yeah, great, all right, got to get back to it, get back to work. Yeah, all right, yeah, I'll speak to you later. Yeah, I've got to get back to it. All right, see you later, bye. And that'd be it. You could just be in the studio, but you could be doing nothing. Do you know what I mean? You could be thinking about a track. You could just be listening to something.
Oh, you're in the zone.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, sometimes you get a bit like, I don't know, shit, I should actually do some work here. But you are working.
But you are working. You're in that place.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you are that song, that project, you know?
I can sit here and go, yeah, great.
Yeah, that is all that matters.
But I think it is, you know, all joking aside, it is a very zen place to be, you know, behind your kit.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
I some health stuff I went through a number of years ago.
Yeah.
And all is good, but like the happiest place that I find, you know, therapeutically, is sitting behind that, and even be, you know, the way people go, you know, to therapy to talk, you know, and it's the same for so many of us and so many other people that play instruments.
Yeah.
It all comes out when you're just sitting there, you know, and even doing gigs, you know, you could you could be laughing to yourself, just go, ah! Or next minute you're crying. But people could be turning around to you going, are you okay? And you just look at them and go,
Is it all right?
yeah, I'm fine. And that's what's such a release.
It is. And I think, I mean, have you taught drums?
Talk, drums.
Have you ever taught, like?
Yeah, I'm actually doing some lessons at the moment, and not today but tomorrow, and I love it. And it's funny, because some of them, me just being blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
some
same here.
I end up talking more than playing. But the person that I'm with generally, I think, really
you hope, yeah.
Generally likes that, because it's the same way. It's generally teaching that kind of, not teaching, but talking about that kind of therapeutic.
Facilitating.
Yes, there you go. That's nice. What you think is so important. It's the kind of drummer you very much are, and the kind of drummer I am. Like I'm not the kind of drummer I was certainly when I was a kid, but I'm not the kind of drummer anymore that just sits around with sticks and just sits around and just kind of talks and just does this. Yeah. So yeah. And it really pees me off when the drummer does that. It's kind of like, do you mind? Would you stop and we'll just have a chat? You know?
Stoic. The stoic drummer.
Yeah.
Just stop, okay? Stop drumming. Take a breath.
Are you with me?
Oh man, I'm. We got Dylan. He's 18 now, so he's learning to drive. He's had about 20 lessons, and he's just turned 18. So we got a car for him.
How far?
So I mean, you are.
How far do you think he is away from his driver's license?
He's not that far. He's pretty good. Right. He's pretty good. We've been out for a couple of days now, and we're both alive.
Yeah.
It's going good. You know, my wife's like, she's got no hair. She's got this kind of look going on.
All right.
But again, it's that, you know, I don't know what it is. Quite zen about it all. I don't know. I'm trying to say the biting point is very much like a, you know, kick down, and then you got a little sort of shimmy between the two, the hi-hat choke, something like that.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That fucking worked. He's like, I get it, biting. Oh yeah. So yeah, I think it's that teaching thing, facilitating. I really enjoy, and I think you're right in not drumming to a certain degree.
To a degree, of course, yeah.
Obviously, they're charging the froth, and you want to get them, playing. But I think that moment where we're sort of laughing about it, but that moment where you can almost like disassociate yourself and have a little bit of a conversation with yourself while you're playing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Obviously the big mammoth thing, which I said to you near the very start, was when you're drumming, which is something I absolutely adore. And when I started playing when I was a kid, there's an amazing DJ who we recently lost in Ireland. His name was Larry Gogan, and he used to have his daily radio show, and it wasn't like a chart show. He just used to.
We've got 50 seconds, Gray.
Seconds. Larry used to play anything. It could be Metallica, it could be ABBA, and then it could be the Beatles, then it could be blah. But then rather than playing your own playlists, play with the radio, because it does the best for your eclectic nature. And that's what I used to do, and I think it brought me on, that kind of eclectic love,
I love you. I think you're brilliant.
You're even better. I love you.
We've got 19 seconds. How many other ways can I say I've had an amazing time? And can we do it again at some point?
Yeah, let's do it again. Let's do it again in an hour's time.
Right. 7, 7 seconds. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you for having me.
Be good. Look.